Patrick Lencioni, Getting Naked, a business fable about shedding the 3 fears that sabotage client loyalty. Delve into the world of Getting Naked, a business fable about shedding the 3 fears that sabotage client loyalty, by Patrick Lencioni, where vulnerability and openness become vital assets for consultants. This book summary gears readers to explore the notion of vulnerability in a work context, showing how shedding fears of weakness, loss of business, and inferiority can improve relationships with clients. Discover how embracing transparency, credibility, and dedication fosters loyalty and client satisfaction, and learn practical steps to ensure prosperity for both yourself and your client.
Embracing vulnerability at work. Letting our defenses down and embracing vulnerability may feel uncomfortable, but it is essential for building deep and lasting relationships, especially in a work setting. For instance, if you're in a hot and stressful meeting, don't conceal the fact that you're sweating. Being open about it will make others more comfortable and help you be seen as a team member rather than an outsider trying to make a sale. Vulnerability might not be easy, but overcoming the fear allows you to demonstrate your true, honest self, which in turn leads to transparency, credibility, and dedication. Learning how to be confident in your vulnerability can make all the difference in your professional life. Fearless consulting approach. To overcome the fear of losing clients, consultants should prioritize clients' needs and suppress the urge to focus on their own businesses. Starting a relationship without first discussing fees demonstrates humility and self-confidence, showcasing the value of your services. Maintain an honest yet kind attitude with clients, recognizing their efforts and communicating your care. Finally, be willing to face potential dangers rather than avoiding them, which displays your ability to acknowledge reality and manage conflict effectively. As a consultant, prioritizing clients' needs rather than worrying about your own business is crucial for success. To accomplish this, don't be afraid to make yourself vulnerable. Start by avoiding fee discussions at the beginning of a relationship, instead focusing on the value you can provide to clients. By taking on a humble and self-confident approach, you'll impress your clients and create a more trusting relationship. It's important to remember that clients are unlikely to take advantage of your vulnerable state. When you truly prioritize their needs, clients will be happy to pay and won't worry about micromanaging your work. By concentrating on your consultancy in your clients, your fears will subside. However, there are 2 additional rules to abide by to ensure a strong client-consultant relationship. First, always be honest and kind. If a client has a business idea that doesn't convince you, express your concerns while still respecting their feelings and acknowledging their efforts. Show your clients that you truly care about their success. Second, don't put off or ignore potential dangers. For example, when discussing a risky business move like the launch of a new product, be willing to address concerns and possible issues. Often, people who only see the danger in a decision are ignored, leading to unaddressed risks. Overcome the fear of confrontation by attending to those who may be apprehensive about a project. This will display your ability to acknowledge reality and handle conflict effectively, ultimately pleasing everyone involved. Embrace dumb questions. Don't be afraid to ask dumb questions or make seemingly silly suggestions in professional settings. Often, others in the room may have the same doubts, and asking questions can lead to valuable insights. Even if you do make a mistake, acknowledging and laughing at yourself builds trust and shows your focus on problem solving rather than saving face. Picture yourself in a hospital as a consultant, having no prior medical knowledge. Faced with unfamiliar terminology, do you pretend to understand or risk embarrassment by asking dumb questions? The key is to be willing to ask those questions, as there are likely others with similar uncertainties. Moreover, your questions might not be as foolish as you think. Ultimately, clients will remember the insightful moments, not the seemingly trivial questions you asked. Each inquiry drives the conversation forward and serves a purpose. This same principle applies to ideas you may consider stupid or risky. These suggestions might not be as senseless as they appear, and others are likely pondering them too. People will recall your positive contributions, such as recommending lucrative partnerships that may initially seem far-fetched. If you do end up asking a genuinely foolish question or making an unfitting suggestion, embrace the humor in the situation. Self-deprecation demonstrates humility and earns the trust of your peers. For example, if you forget that a hospital is non-profit, you can acknowledge this gaffe and apologize in a light-hearted manner. Your willingness to admit mistakes accentuates your commitment to addressing the issues at hand, rather than simply preserving your own image. Embrace the dirty work. Overcoming the fear of inferiority and embracing the dirty work are key steps in building trust with clients. By taking responsibility, showing enthusiasm, and adopting an attitude of service, you demonstrate dedication to your client's success. Most individuals seek a sense of importance and entitlement to their salaries. This often results in avoiding seemingly menial tasks like setting up chairs or fetching coffee. However, this fear of perceived inferiority prevents true growth. Rather than focusing on intellectual risks, you need to conquer your pride and need for attention while being prepared to metaphorically take a bullet for your client. For instance, if your client botched the organization of a conference, interrupting speakers to maintain the schedule may require you to assume blame. After the event, honestly addressing the poor organization will lead to gratitude from the client for both your truthfulness and loyalty. Performing the dirty work also requires honoring your client's work. To willingly perform tasks for a client, you must respect and appreciate their field. For example, it would be difficult to successfully consult for a casino or bar if you view gambling and alcohol as immoral. Steer clear of clients whose work you cannot support, as the outcome will likely be unfavorable. Another crucial aspect of doing the dirty work is downplaying your role through an attitude of service. Clients periodically require your assistance, and rising to that challenge showcases your valuable contributions. Instead of feeling inferior, the client will see dedication in your actions. Remember, your job is to help. Prove to your clients that you're willing to do whatever it takes and foster relationships on a solid foundation of trust.
As we wrap up our journey through the summary of Getting Naked, we recognize the importance of vulnerability, transparency, and dedication in building strong client relationships. Overcoming the natural fears of appearing weak, losing business, and feeling inferior paves the way for improved consultancy. By concentrating on the needs of your clients, asking questions without fear, and taking on challenges without seeking recognition, consultants develop lasting client loyalty and foster a sense of mutual trust. Embracing these principles will not only make you a better consultant but also lead to greater client satisfaction.